Welcome back guys. In this video I'll be showing you how to use the in-date model of FSR for Upscaler in conjunction with XeSS frame generation in GTA, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, Epic Games version. We'll be using Optiscaler Mod to achieve this. I'll test these games on my Rog Ally that comes with Windows 11, Radeon 780M GPU based on RDNA 3 architecture. You can even use FSR frame generation via Optiscaler Mod, but it produces some noticeable ghosting around a fast moving vehicle's bumper. XeSS frame generation does not exhibit this graphical artifact, so it's highly recommended to use it instead of FSR frame gen. Just make sure the games are running in DirectX 12 mode, not in DirectX 11 mode. I'll show you how to set the graphics API to DX12. Open your Epic Games library. Click on the three dot below the games box art. First, I'll show you the process for GTA Vice City. Click on Manage. Check this setting, launch options, and add this line of text -dx12. Do the same thing for GTA 3. Manage, launch option setting enabled, -dx12 line added. Click on the three dots below the games box art. GTA San Andreas, manage, launch option setting enabled, add the line -dx12. I'll be using Optiscaler Mod's latest Preview 5 version 0.9 20251106 build, available on Optiscaler's Discord server. We'll give the link to their Discord in the description of the video. Just click on the .7z link here. FSR SDK was leaked a couple of months ago. It included files corresponding to the int8 model of FSR4. These files could be used to compile an FSR4 DLL. Big thanks to Reddit user AthleteDependent926 for doing this and sharing the file with the community. Just click on the Go file link here. From this page, download AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler tx12.dll file. Click on download. Download will start. I won't be using Optiscaler's DXGI spoofing feature to unlock the in-game DLSS Upscaler setting. We'll be using OptiPatcher to do this. Download the latest version of OptiPatcher from GitHub, version 0.35 at the time of recording this video. Expand the asset section. Click on the .asi link here. The mod setup process is exactly the same for all of these games. Need to paste the same mod files in each game's install directory. I'll prepare the mod files now. Just select Optiscaler Mod's archive file. Right click, click on extract all, extract. This is the extracted mod folder. In this directory, just create a new folder and name it as plugin. Inside this plugins folder, we need to paste OptiPatcher's ASI file. So just go back and grab OptiPatcher's ASI file that you downloaded from GitHub. Select it, right click, cut, open the extracted mod folder, open plugins folder, paste the file here. Now go back to the extracted mod folder. In this directory, look for a file name optiscaler.ini. There it is, open it. Scroll down until you find spoofing section. There it is. Under this section, look for a line named DXGI. Just set it to false. This will disable DXGI spoofing. Scroll down again until you find plugin section. Here just set load ASI plugin to true. Optiscaler Mod will now load OptiPatcher.asi file. Scroll down again until you find Hudfix section. We need to block Epic Games overlay, otherwise the game will simply crash when trying to use XeSS frame generation via Optiscaler Mod. Just set disable overlays to true. Click on file, click on save, close. Now grab FSR for Upscaler's AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler tx12.dll file that you downloaded from Reddit. Select the file, copy, open the extracted mod folder. Replace the existing file. Right click, paste, replace. Now just change the name of optiscaler.dll file to d3d12.dll. It's the mod loader file. Now just select the highlighted files d3d12.dll, optiscaler.ini, mods configuration file, plugins folder, fakenvapi.dll, fakenvapi.ini required for using XCLL. Select all of the tx12 versions of Fidelity FX files. Leave XeSS_fg.dll XeSS frame gen file. libxcll.dll, XeSS low latency mode file, libxeSS.dll, XeSS super resolution file for DX12 and Vulkan APIs, Vulkan version of FideltyFX not required, DXLN version of XeSS super resolution not required, not using Nukem Nice mod. These GTA games do not support any frame generation technique. Right click, copy. First I'll show you the setup process for GTA 3 Definitive Edition. Open your Epic Games library. Click on the three dots below the games box art, GTA 3. Manage. Click on the folder icon next to installation. This will open the game's installed directory. Now just open game phase folder, binaries folder, Win64 folder, paste the files here. Done. Now I'll paste the same files in GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas installed directory. Open your Epic Games library. Show you the setup process for Vice City. Click on the three dots below the games box art. Click on manage. Click on the folder icon next to installation. Open game phase folder, binaries folder, Win64 folder. Paste everything here. Done. Do the same thing for San Andreas. Click on the three dots below the games box art. Manage. Folder icon. Game phase folder. Binaries folder. Win64 folder. Paste everything here. In order to use XeSS frame generation, we need to disable dilated motion vectors via the game's engine.ini file. Need to do this for each game. Just open C drive. Open users folder. Open the folder that has the same name as your PC's username. Open app data folder. If this folder is not visible on your PC, click on view here, go to show and check this setting, hidden items. Open local folder. In this directory look for a folder name Rockstar Games. Open it. In this directory you'll find these three folders: GTA 3 Definitive Edition, GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition and GTA Vice City Definitive Edition. Need to run the games at least once for these folders to get generated. First I'll disable dilated motion vectors for GTA 3. Open the folder, open saved folder, open config folder, Windows no editor folder, engine.ini file. Click on edit, click on find, just type system settings, hit enter. Under system settings section you just need to add a line at the end, r.ngx.dlss.dilate motion vectors equal to 0. I'll provide this line in the description of the video. You can copy it from there, paste it here. Click on file, save, close. Do the same thing for GTA Vice City and San Andreas. Go back to the directory where these GTA folders are present. Open Vice City, saved folder, config folder, Windows no editor folder, engine.ini file. System settings section, add the line at the end, paste, file, save, close, backtracking to this directory. Open GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition folder, saved folder, config folder, Windows no editor folder, engine.ini file. Same process again. Add the line at the end, file, save, system settings, close. Using the same adrenaline settings for all of the games, enable FreeSync and VSync. I have set the UMA buffer size to 5 GB. My Ally is running on BIOS version 342. Install Ally's latest official GPU driver that I had support for. Battlefield 6 using a 27 watts manual profile, all 3 power values set at 27 watts. CPU boost disabled. Resolution set to Full HD. Connected my FlyDigi Beta 4 Pro controller to Ally via Bluetooth mode, X input controller. I'll be using Optiscaler's Hudfix feature to prevent the game's HUD elements from flickering. This is why I won't be using RTSS or Afterburner to show you the performance stats. We'll simply use Adrenaline's performance overlay. Launch San Andreas. Here Rockstar Games launcher is required. Yes. I'm using high to ultra settings. Display mode, make sure it's set to windowed full screen, required for using XeFG. Frame rate unlock, VSync off. Anti-aliasing TA. Anisotropic filtering set to 16 times. Distance scaling far. Yeah, make sure city glow effect setting is disabled. Can cause the game to crash on Rog Ally. DLSS got unlocked using its quality preset. Max. Bloom disable. Motion blur disable, very important. Classic lighting on. Old school effect. That's it. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. There it is. Click on the drop down bar next to menu UI scale. Set the value to 1.4. Upscaler use XeSS version 2.0.2. Input in-game DLSS Upscaler TXT spoofing feature off. OP is mentioned at the top of the menu. OptiPatcher is working. Auto export setting is on. Okay, I'll just switch to FSR for Upscaler. Click on the drop down bar next to change Upscaler. Select FSR 3.x as the option. Click on change Upscaler again. FSR 4 got selected. Model setting default. Current model use 0. Incorrect model is being used. I am using the quality preset of DLSS Upscaler, so model 1 should have been used. Cannot change the model manually, unfortunately. So I'll stick with the default value. Default does not produce any significant graphical artifacts, so not a problem. Expand FPS overlay section. Check this setting. FPS overlay enable. Full plus graph. Scale 1.5. Base resolution 720p upscale to full HD resolution. Frame generation disable for the timing. Save and close. There's CJ. Yeah, FPS is close to 50. Not observing any ghosting around CJ's character model. Image quality, it's looking very sharp and clean. 46 to 50 FPS. Drive vehicle. XeSS frame generation won't produce any ghosting around a fast moving vehicle's bumper. Street pole disappeared into the abyss. Okay, now I'll show you how to enable XeFG. Open mod menu. Click on the drop down bar next to FG source. Select OptiFG Upscaler as the option. Click on the drop down bar next to FG output and select XeFG as the option. Save and close. Restart the game. Launch. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu and check this setting active under XeFG. This will enable XeSS frame gen. Frame time graph became thick. Now if you don't enable Hudfix setting, game's crosshair will exhibit some ghosting, see flickering. So just enable Hudfix setting, set the limit value to 1. Check debug view. If XeSS frame gen is working, you will see these purple sidebars flickering. Uncheck the debug view. Show detected UI setting enable. This will highlight all of the game's HUD elements pink in color. See, crosshair, UI elements pink. Hudfix is working properly. Uncheck show detected UI setting. This game does not support NVIDIA Reflex, so XCLL is most probably not working. Just make sure base FPS is on the higher side to counter the increase in latency. This is the real world input delay. Definitely manageable. Animation quality, it's looking much smoother than before. You can always drop the base resolution to 900p to improve the performance further. I am running the game with maxed out settings. This game becomes more demanding at night. It's due to the in-game lighting effect. Headlight of a vehicle and even the street lights can tank the performance. Yeah, just observe the vehicle's bumper. No ghosting is produced around it. Minor ghosting is present, very difficult to observe it on Ally's small display. This ghosting is actually produced by temporal upscaler. XeSS frame gen does not make it more aggressive. FPS is close to 65 and I'm driving my vehicle around the city. So good performance on Rog Ally. Now I'll test the next game. Adrenaline settings for Vice City. VSync on. Display resolution set at Full HD. Launch. In-game settings. Most of the settings are set to Ultra. Display mode, make sure it's set to windowed full screen, required for using XeFG. FPS unlocked, VSync off. Scaling DA, anisotropic filtering 16 times. Just make sure motion blur is disabled. DLSS enabled using its quality preset. City glow effect off on Rog Ally. Bloom off. Motion blur, yeah, it's disabled. Classic lighting on. Old school effect. Once the game loads up, press the insert keyboard key to open Optiscaler menu. There it is. I'll just increase its size. Click on the drop down bar next to menu UI scale. Set the value to 1.2. Upscaler XeSS 2.0.2. Input. In-game DLSS Upscaler TXT spoofing off. Auto exploit setting on. Switch to FSR for Upscaler. Click on the drop down bar next to change Upscaler and select FSR 3.x as the option. Click on change Upscaler again. That worked. Model set to default 0. Can't change it. Leave the setting as it is. Frame generation disabled for the time being. Expand FPS overlay section. Check the setting FPS overlay enable full plus graph. Scale 1.4. Base resolution 853 by 480 pixels upscale to 720p resolution. Yeah, this is a problem. This game runs at 720p resolution on Rog Ally. Even when Rog Ally's display resolution is set at full HD, and this is with the in-game display mode setting set to windowed full screen. So I'll simply run the game with FSR native anti-aliasing. Just open Optiscaler Mod menu, check the setting override all under upscale ratio override and set the slider to 1.000. Click on save RDNA, close, restart the game, launch. Check the resolution after restarting the game. At the bottom of Optiscaler Mod menu, 720p resolution upscale to 720p. FSR native anti-aliasing. It's the daytime. FPS here is close to 70. A good performance on Rog Ally even without frame generation. Just steal a vehicle. What's going on here? Traffic jam. FPS should be within a range of 60 to 70. While driving around the city, image quality, it's looking so clean, so sharp. Yeah, there is some minor ghosting around the vehicle's bumper. If you use FSR frame generation, it will make this ghosting effect more aggressive. I'll just enable XeFG now. Open Mod menu, click on the drop down bar next to FG source. Select OptiFG Upscaler as the option. Click on the drop down bar next to FG output and select XeFG as the option. Save and close. Restart the game. Launch. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu and check the setting active under XeFG. This will enable XeSS frame gen. Enable Hudfix setting. Limit value set to 1. Check the debug view setting. Here you will see these purple sidebars flickering. This means XeSS frame gen is working. FPS is close to 120 and check the debug view. Show detected UI setting enable. Games UI elements will be highlighted pink in color. Uncheck the setting. Play the game for a brief moment. Oh my god, it's running so smoothly. FPS it's close to 110, above 100. Real world input delay. Barely any input delay is present. Oh no, the cop almost grabbed me. Almost got busted there. I just observe the vehicle's bumper. No significant ghosting is produced around it, even during fast visual motion. It's very good results produced by XeFG in GTA Vice City. Highly recommended to use it. FPS is close to 95 while driving my vehicle around the city. Cab driver is in a hurry. Now I'll test the next game. Adrenaline settings for GTA 3. FreeSync on. Drop the resolution to 900p. Launch. Again, Rockstar Games launcher is required. In-game settings. Most of the settings are set to high. Display mode, windowed full screen required for using XeFG. Frame rate unlock, VSync off. Anti-aliasing TA, isotropic filtering 16 times. City glow effect disabled on Rog Ally DLSS Upscaler using its 40 preset. Make sure bloom and motion blur are disabled. Once the game loads up, open Optiscaler menu. Increase its size. Click on the top bar next to menu US scale. Set the value to 1.2. Upscaler selected XeSS 2.0.2. Input in-game DLSS Upscaler TXGI spoofing off. Auto Explorer setting is on. I'll switch to FSR 4 Upscaler. Click on the drop down bar next to change upscaler. Select FSR 3.x as the option. Click on change upscaler again. That work. Models setting set to default. Automatically selected model 0 for me. Can't change the setting. Leave it as it is. Frame generation disabled for the time being. Expand FPS overlay section. Check the setting FPS overlay enabled. Full plus graph scale 1.3. Your base resolution 1066 by 600 pixels upscale to 900p resolution. Save and I close. Here's a character. Check out the image quality. It's looking so sharp and clean. No ghosting is produced around the character model. Not observing any shimmering in the background. Buildings, windows. Just steal a vehicle. Drive the vehicle around city. The FPS is close to 44. Crowded area, good for testing the game. Check out the reflection quality. Vehicle is looking so shiny. Okay, now I'll enable XeFG. What happened here? Heard some gunshots. Open Optiscaler menu. Oh my god. Click on the drop down bar next to FG source. Select OptiFG Upscaler as the option. Click on the drop down bar next to FG output and select XeFG as the option. Save and I close. This guy is dead. Restart the game. Once the game loads up, open Optiscaler menu. Check the setting active under frame generation XeFG. Check the setting Hudfix. Limit value set to 1. Check debug view. If XeSS frame gen is working, you will see these purple sidebars flickering. Uncheck debug view. Check show detected UI setting. You will see the game's HUD elements highlighted pink in color. All good here. Uncheck show detected UI setting. Just play the game. Here FPS increased to around 70. Can observe the added amount of smoothness. Animation quality is looking much better than before. Drive my vehicle. Observe the vehicle's bumper. No significant ghosting is produced around it. Just temporal upscaling related minor ghosting. So good results produced by FSR 4 Upscaler and XeFG in all of the GTA games. FPS here is close to 70 while driving my vehicle around the city. 70 to 80. So that's it with the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.